As-salaam wa-alaikum, brothers and sisters. Welcome to Year 6 of the 17 Verses podcast. I'm your host, Maher Haq. In this podcast, we take a small selection from the Quran every day and recite it to you in plain English, so you can get a small slice of God's Word while you go about your day. By averaging 17 verses per day, we're able to break the Quran down into manageable pieces and finish it in 1 year. If you enjoy the podcast, please help spread the word. Tell your friends and family, subscribe in iTunes or Stitcher or wherever you get your podcasts, and write us a review. Show notes and a text episode can be found at 17verses.com. That's the numbers 17verses.com. Today's selection is from Surah 12, Yüsuf or Joseph, verses 58 through 79. These verses continue the story of Prophet Joseph after he had been appointed as a member of the king's cabinet. Joseph's brothers had to come to Egypt to get food and grain. Joseph, who was unrecognized by his brothers, commanded them to bring Benjamin, his younger brother. Joseph's brothers went back and convinced their father to let them bring Benjamin, to whom Joseph revealed his identity and then hatched a plan to retain Benjamin in his services. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. In the name of Allah, most gracious, most merciful. Several years later, when the famine started and there was no food available outside Egypt, Joseph's brothers came to Egypt for food and entered his office. He recognized them, but they did not recognize him. When he had given them their due provisions and they were about to leave, he said, "Bring your half-brother to me next time. Do you not see that I give full measure and provide the best hospitality? But if you do not bring him, you shall have no grain, nor shall you even come near me again." Joseph's brothers replied, "We shall certainly try our best to bring him from his father. This we will surely do." Joseph told his servants to put his brother's money into their saddlebags secretly, so that they should know about it only when they reach their family, so that they may come back. When Joseph's brothers returned to their father, they said, "Father, grain is henceforth denied us unless we take our stepbrother with us. Please send our brother with us so that we may get our measure. We take full responsibility for his safety." Joseph's father said, "Should I trust you with him as I once trusted you with his brother? God is the best protector, and he is the most merciful of the mercy givers." When they opened their baggage, they discovered that their money had been returned to them. "Father," they cried with joy, "what more can we ask for? Here is our money returned back to us. We will buy more food for our family. We will take good care of our brother and obtain an extra camel load of grain. This way it will be easy to add another camel load of grain." Jacob replied, "I will never send him with you until you pledge in the name of God that you will surely bring him back to me unless you become helpless." And when they had given their pledge, he said, "Allah is the witness over the pledge you made." Then he said, "My sons, do not enter the capital city of Egypt through one gate. Enter from different gates. Not that I can avail you against Allah. This advice is a precaution, because none can accurately judge except Allah. In him do I put my trust, and in him let all the reliant put their trust." When they entered the city as their father had advised them, it did not avail them against the will of Allah. Of course, Jacob had done his best to avert the fear he had in his heart. Indeed, he possessed the knowledge which we had given him, but most people do not know. When they entered to Joseph, he called his brother Benjamin alone to him and said, "In fact, I am your brother Joseph. Now you need not grieve at what they had been doing." While Joseph was arranging the loading of their provisions, he put the royal drinking cup into his brother's pack. Later on, a crier called out, "O people of the caravan, you must be thieves." They turned back and asked, "What have you lost?" The royal servants said, "We have lost the king's drinking cup, and the one who brings it will be rewarded a camel load of corn. I guarantee it." Joseph's brothers said, "By Allah, you should know, by our behavior during our stay here, that we did not come here to make mischief in the land, and we are no thieves." The royal servants said, "What should be the punishment of the thief if you are liars?" They replied, "The punishment of he in whose pack you find the royal cup will be to make him one of your bondsmen. That's how we punish wrongdoers." After this, Joseph first began to search the packs of his stepbrothers before the pack of his own, Benjamin. Finally, he took it out of his brother's pack. Thus we directed Joseph. He could not seize his brother under the king's law, but Allah willed otherwise. We exalt in ranks whom we please. He is the one whose knowledge is far greater than the knowledge of all others. At this accusation his brothers remarked, "This is not strange if he has committed a theft, for his brother also committed a theft before him." Hearing this, Joseph suppressed his feelings and did not reveal anything to them. He simply whispered to himself, "What a bad people they are! They are accusing me of something, the truth of which Allah knows is best." They said, "O noble prince, Benjamin has a very aged brother who may not be able to survive without him. So please take one of us instead of him. We see that you are one of those who do good to others." Joseph replied, "God forbid that we should seize other than the one with whom we found our property. If we did so, indeed we would be unjust." Ameen. To be continued, brothers and sisters. Don't forget to tune in tomorrow. This concludes today's episode of the 17 Verses podcast. I hope that this selection helps increase your understanding of the Holy Quran just a little bit. If you like the podcast, you can subscribe in iTunes or Stitcher and write us a review. Or you can grab the RSS feed and put it into your own podcast app. The show notes, including a text version of this episode, can be found by going to 17verses.com. That's the numbers 17, VERSES.com. Thank you, and be well.